Hey everyone, it's me, Fiona Jane, aka Dr. Hikaru, and it's been a little while, so I'm here to give you an update on how I've been doing. So, my disclaimer again, I'm not really doctor, it's a nickname that I got from a long time ago and it kind of stuck. And for those of you who don't remember about my series on endometriosis and PMDD, I am a spoonie, which means that I suffer from a chronic illness, an invisible illness at that. It's a women's gynecological disease. Endometriosis, I'll have links in my description for those of you who haven't ever heard of it. Thank you so much for all the recent comments I've gotten on my YouTube vlogs. I'm glad I can help a lot of my fellow endo sisters out and offer some sort of support and peace of mind knowing you're not the only one out there who sometimes feels like you're going crazy. So, review on my story. I have endometriosis, and this started around late summer last year, and I ended up having a lap surgery last year, November. So coming in November, I'll probably talk about what it's like a year in review. And since then, I've been relatively pain-free until recently. So one of the solutions in my case, and it's different for every single woman who has endometriosis, is they put me on Seasonique, which is continuous birth control. And that means that I have my period once every 3 months as opposed to every month. And the benefits of that is that, in theory, it's supposed to suppress some of the more painful and uncomfortable symptoms that endometriosis has. Again, there is no cure for my disease, and I've been enjoying more healthy days than I had unhealthy days until recently. So I started taking my 3-pack, I think, in January. So it's October, which means that I took 1 pack January through March, the 2nd pack from March, yeah, I'm on my 4th pack now. 3rd, 4th, I can do math, just not right now, sorry. But, and I noticed that it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Along with endometriosis, I also suffer from PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is a severe case of PMS. So by going on continuous birth control and having my period only once every 3 months, I am able to only experience the problem of PMDD when I only have my period, which is once every 3 months. Unfortunately for me, that means the last month, that 3rd month, I started feeling severe anxiety and depression. And after talking to my doctor about it, because I wanted to be able to function in day-to-day life and doing other things like journaling, we decided that I was going to go on Prozac to help with these mood swings and just do whatever we can to mitigate what's going on because my hormones are all out of whack. And it's helped. I have taken, this next round will be my 3rd round of having it. So I am not happy that I'm on Prozac, but I have noticed it helps a lot. And starting a new job starting on a new project in February and traveling all the time. I was on 100% travel, meaning I flew Mondays and I came back on Fridays, and I continued that again every week until about end of April. From there, my company decided we'd go ahead and make me 50% travel. So I went every other week for a while, then 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and now I'm back to every other week. It helps a lot. As you can see, I'm in bed. So what I'm finding is the last 2 months I've been spending my remote weeks in bed, working from my bed with my Poochie by my side. And it's a nice change up because traveling does wear you down. I mentioned spoon theory. If you've never read the spoon theory, I suggest you take the time and look at the links below. I will link it. It is a great way to explain about limitations and how I feel about my energy level. It's kind of an update where I am. I've had increasing pains. I've had more days of fatigue. I definitely have more feelings of, I want to say outright depression, but I do get socially, I kind of withdraw myself. I wouldn't call it a social anxiety. I know someone once used that to describe me, and I was like, no, look that up. That's another term. But I definitely feel more isolated when I'm in pain. It kind of comes with not knowing what I can and cannot do. I have refused to go back on my pain meds unless it is horrible. So it means that I take a longer time to heal, but I feel better about it. So there's kind of that give and take. Could be psychological, could be not, but I like knowing that I'm not dependent on drugs. So right now I have in my medicine cabinet ready for me Seasonic. Obviously I take once a day, every day. Prozac I take daily on the last month of my period until I'm done with my period. So it's about 20 days of that month I take it. The first week I kind of forego it. The second week on my pack I take it. I have amitriptyline, which if you remember is helps with pain at night so that I can sleep, and it is a mild antidepressant as well. So my doctor prescribed that for when I have chronic pain at night and I don't necessarily want to be on something heavier like tramadol. I have tramadol for day-to-day pain. It is a mild to severe pain reliever. The good news is it's not a narcotic, which means I don't get drowsy taking it. I still have Percocet left over from my surgery. I avoid using that at all costs. I'll take tramadol before that. Of course, you can take Advil for day-to-day, but again, I'm trying to avoid taking anything. And I can't remember off the top of my head, I don't want to walk over to my meds. I am on a high level of Zofran. I'm on Zofran. When I need it, that is a anti-nausea medicine, because I found in the last 4 months, I was getting severely nauseous to the point where I could not get out of bed because I was so nauseous. And Zofran's kind of, for those who have experienced cancer and chemotherapy, it's kind of that level of a anti-nausea medicine. So it is pretty severe when I have to take it. I avoid taking that as well too, unless I have to. You're probably wondering, if I have all these things at my disposal, why do I choose not to take it? And it's because I was so drugged up last year, so freaking drugged up last year. It's kind of a relief not to be drugged up. And because I can work remotely, I can spend time on my computer in bed and rest up a little more. You kind of don't like mentioning this type of downtime to people. And it's because I wanted to talk a little more about quality of life. So yes, I'm a spoonie. I have severe pain sometimes that when I'm by myself, I cry. Just thinking about it kind of tears me up. And it's not something we like to talk about because nobody wants to feel like they're just bitching all the time. And, like I said with the anxiety and depression, when you're in pain all the time, pain will change you. Pain will definitely change your view and make you sensitive to things maybe you weren't as sensitive to before. And maybe I'm gonna try to take my toilet paper by my side and try to get this under control. But when I talk about quality of life, it's none of us who suffer through a chronic pain that you don't know when it's going to hit, how long it's going to last. You try to plan around it, you try to do your best, but you cannot, there's no on-off button. It's not like a sports injury when if you do something, it's going to result in pain because you use that body part. I never know when I'm going to have supreme abdominal pains. Sometimes it comes at work where I'll just kind of crunch over my desk when I'm in the office because it just sucks. It could even be right now, like when I'm laying in bed, I'll be fine, and then it's just excruciating pain. None of us who suffer through this type of pain really want pity. Of anything, we want your support and understanding that we may do things that you don't understand. But most of all, we kind of want to try to live as normal of a life as we can. So you try to make time to do the normal things, to see your friends. And when you see your friends, you don't necessarily want to be reminded that you suffer from something. You want to have fun. You want to do the things that you used to do. Like, I remember everything I used to do before my surgery. I challenged myself this year to do a lot of other things that I wasn't able to do. And I do things like pole exercise, pole dance, not stripping. And it's definitely helped me with my core muscles, and it's given me an outlet for a lot of the frustration I have. And I struggle through my classes sometimes. I do, right now we're gearing up for the zombie crawl and thriller under the arch. I save up my spoons, again, read the spoon theory, so that I can attend our thriller practices. And I'm bouncing off the wall, and I'm happy, and I'm climbing things, and I'm dancing, and I may be in extreme fucking pain, but I don't want it to take away from the things I love. I pay for it the next day. I am more susceptible to being in more pain, but it's worth it. It's worth it for that hour to be running around and kind of pretend to be pain-free, to hang out with wonderful people and have a good time, and not let anyone who doesn't know me know that I suffer with endometriosis, that my insides kind of feel like they're going to come out, and just have fun pretending to be a zombie and doing something I love, dancing. So I talk about quality of life because this means that I have to make decisions on what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it. I really want to go back to my hip hop classes with Marla. She's the instructor for Thriller, but those practices are on Mondays, and Tuesdays are the Thriller dance. So I have to make a decision. If I go on Monday, I might not be able to make it on Tuesday. So I have decided to kind of put my hip hop classes, even though I love them so much, kind of on hold until after Thriller practices, so I can conserve my energy. Do I feel every day I need to conserve my energy? No. But what I can do to kind of prepare myself is make sure I stay rested. I make plans with my friends, and I feel like such a flake when I have to cancel them because I'm too tired or there's too much pain. And because they're so used to seeing me bouncing around after my surgery, I've had so many better days. They don't see what happens when I'm by myself and the downtime I have. They don't see the uglier side where, you know, I cry over the loss of opportunity. You know, it's that's part of what happens when you get depressed. And people think that when I say depression, I mean, oh, I'm just sad. No, I'm talking the clinical sense of depression. I mean actual depression that I have to get treated for, and anxiety. If you met me, you kind of wonder how I get diagnosed with anxiety. On top of it, that comes from the PMDD. That comes from the fact that my hormones are all out of whack. I'll do a separate video probably on these things about quality of life. I'll probably talk about that more, but the main reason I wanted to emphasize that is I have to choose between cleaning my room, doing laundry, which I'll do anyway because I want clean clothes, ironing my clothes, going to the dry cleaners, these little things that add up, or choose if I want to have dinner with my friends. I'm not happy that my room right now is a mismatch because I'm always traveling for work too, and it's not the tidiest, and it's nowhere in the state I'd like to keep it, but let's face it, I'm in bed right now making this video. I went out to lunch with a friend, you know, because I had the energy to do that. I did my makeup today. I had the energy to do that, but that's not every day. And if I have to choose between doing some little tasks together or doing a bigger task like hanging out with people, especially since I travel 50% of the time, I'm not in my own town 50% of the time, I'm going to choose to do the big events because I want a quality of life. You know, yeah, I'd like my room to be a cleaner state of mind, to reflect a cleaner state of mind, but I gotta choose on which battles I can fight day to day. I have an appointment with my doctor at the end of this month so we can discuss my options on changing my medication so that I have more good days than bad. I'm really hoping to avoid having to go into another surgery. I really don't like being in pain. I really don't like having mood swings. I don't like the fact that I spend a lot of my time in bed. more so than I'd like. And you get a little depressed knowing you can't do things. And it's hard to stay positive when you feel like things are taken away from you, your opportunity to do things. So big thank you to my friends who, I'm not a flaky person by any means. I like to think I'm really reliable, but lately I have been avoiding any type of social commitment because I hate flaking. And I hate pumping myself up and hoping I have enough spoons and wanting to do something so bad. And sometimes I'll do it just out of sheer willpower to prove to myself that I can still be me and still have a quality of life. But again, I gotta realize that if I power through it, what am I suffering the next day? Do I have to work? Am I traveling? You know, I've been very fortunate not to suffer any major colds or sicknesses, but that's because I take care of myself the best I can. I want to go out and drink with my friends and do things every night, but I gotta choose which nights I can do things. I gotta decide if it's worth it. So, a lot of my friends don't plan that far ahead, so it kind of makes it hard. And my friends who do accommodate my schedule and will plan things out 2 weeks in advance for me, and I will do everything I possibly can to make that commitment, to be there and just, you know, to enjoy life, to have a quality of life that doesn't mean I'm a sick person. Doesn't mean I spend a good majority of my time in bed. So that's kind of my rambling for today. It's a longer video. I haven't talked to you. Thank you so much for everyone following me on Instagram, on Facebook, my YouTube channel. All my endosisters, hang in there. It does get better. And the number one thing is you're not alone. Feel free to talk those days when you just feel like you're going to bang your head on the wall. I'm here. Find me, talk to me, chat with me. You are never, ever alone. There's no reason to feel that way. Shout out to my endo support group because they've been wonderful. Yeah, this is me. This is drhikaru. I'm trying to have a better day, and I hope you guys have a better day. I wish you guys all the spoons in the world, and stay tuned. I have more videos. I'm going to talk about some of my later experiences, especially dealing with endo and PMDD. But that's it for now. I'm out. Bye, guys. Hang in there.